when the building was designed, they designed certain areas where we could bring in outside equipment to be able to do other types of training for industry. Big door, but if we look here, we have a roof setup, okay? So earlier this week, we did training on roof access, ladder safety, working at heights, and recoveries, so rescues. And we were able to use that point up there to be able to simulate rescues and teach people how to do those different things. So we're able to move this in and out very easily. When we come around this side over here, this is more of our student area. So when students have projects going on, they can bring their stuff in, locate it in lockers, and then keep it here. So that way they don't have to bring it back and forth all the time. This area right now is being used for hand tools and power tool safety assessments. Any student that comes in has to go through and do fundamentals of safety, and then they have to do a hand tool assessment and then also a power tool assessment to make sure they're working safely with the tools that we have. As you can see behind you, we have all snap-on tools. Everything's coded to get in. It unlocks. And now if I take a tool out, we know the tool's gone. It's all cut, foam cut, so we know which tools go back where. And then it also tracks when that tool's put back. So then we can tell if students forgot to put a tool out or if they left it out. I can determine what student it is and we can remind them they gotta put their stuff back. This is also set up like a 5S box. So if you get into the industry and you're working on a certain piece, all your tools will be right at your hand's reach. So we're trying to get students to get ready to be out in the work environment. And that kind of goes with the safety glasses and no cell phones once you're inside the yellow lines. And if we can get you into those habits now, it's that much easier when you go out to get a job at Bombardier, Mold-Right, Novabus, any of those places that already implement those things. We have a virtual reality welder. Yep, it's set up so we can put in angled pipe, straight pipe, plate, weld, see how good you're going for your weld, the percentage of strength. We can check your speed, your angle, and the porosity of your weld to see how well you did. And then we can help you critique it by telling you which angles you have to move or what you need to do. And this helps us to reduce the amount of consumables that we're burning through. And it gets you to a position or to a time where you're ready to transition to one of the booths and you've already got muscle memory and all the good habits. CNC machine, so you'll write in all your logic and go, and this will cut up to a 1-inch plate. Pretty neat. So this just got delivered. That's why some of the equipment's going to be out of the place right now. Yeah, it's plasma. So if you come over, plasma, yep. The hypertherm's right here. And then everything gets hardwired in right through here. So this is going to be a central table area that's being built. So students can have group session to weld in here and work on stuff with a portable hood you can see back there. This is our robotic welder. Okay, it's got a FANUC robot with it, all the programming. So if you're going to do repeat parts over and over again, mass produce, yep, and it'll continue to do that as long as you have them the right X and Y axis. And this will help us moving forward with a bunch of the manufacturing companies that we talked about. A lot of these companies use the same technology for the robots. They're just doing a different function, whether or not it's welding, moving materials, or fusing other items together as in plastic. Our metal shop area continues over here with lathes, drill press, mills, and this will be incorporated into our industrial maintenance program, as well as coming through and doing 7-week classes. So you can come in and get going for 7 weeks and get proficient in some of this equipment. So this is our NC3 certification area. We have certifications in PMI, precision measuring, micrometers, depth gauges, Vermeer calipers, and you go through that, and when you're done, you'll take a certification test through NC3, and it's a nationally recognized certification that carries over to manufacturing. These boxes here are all torque. We have 5 of these boxes. We can teach 10 students at a time, and it's all torque specification, all through Snap-on. Another one of our trainers from Intelitech, and this is going to help you with heating, cooling, refrigeration, and control valves, sensors, and everything else. This will help you when you're looking at an industrial setting, working with different types of chillers and heating components. All right, but it also gives you some PLC logic. This goes back into the same type of fan hook that we saw in the welding system. And this is set up for a pick and place right here, where you design and write your logic on what you want it to do going around. And then we put in obstacles that you go through. So you start out in basic logic, and then we start putting other things in, and then you actually start assembling with the robot. So it's kind of neat, it's a different technology. As you keep going through and taking courses, you gain access to more parts and more components. Each one of these boxes or locations have keys to the different equipment. So as you pass and keep moving forward, you gain access to more equipment as you go based on your training level. That way we can minimize the potential of a student that's not trained on a piece of equipment getting his hands or her hands on it and getting hurt or hurting the equipment. It's our 3D area for 3D printing. It's another robot we have. This is supported by Intelitech. These are our Dremels. We have 3 more coming. The next 3 we have will have a camera inside. So if you're printing something for a long period of time, you can check on it from a remote location, your iPhone or whatever. Computer lab for the students downstairs, and then think areas for them to work downstairs as well. These are all our fluid trainers. So it's a blank canvas and you build it as you go according to your labs. And what you do on the first day, you do on the second day, the third day, so it builds off that first lab. Last semester they had to come in, they actually had to make a mock-up of an elevator system. So they would come in, push a button, the light would come on and go to the first floor, second floor, third floor. Extra credit, they had to design what the elevator was going to look like. So some of the students 3D printed, some of the other students used some of the solid modeling. So they're allowed some flexibility and creativity. So it gives them a little bit of room for freedom. On the back side is set up for pneumatics, so all air. And the next program we have coming up will incorporate PLCs, and you'll now write your logic in your PLC to get the unit to do what it needs to do. So the upstairs is set up with a conference room on that side and 2 main teaching areas in the middle. And on the right side is another computer lab that you can go in and log on and do your computer work and everything else.